Thank you so much, Sam. And thank you to all the Iowa librarians who are here with us today. I'm thrilled to be working with Tegan and Nancy and Sam on, I think it's Iowa's second summer, working with the iRead Summer Reading Program. My name is Diane Foote. I am the Executive Director of iRead and the Illinois Library Association, which is iRead's home. We are your neighbors here in Illinois, and one key aspect of this program is that it is developed and built by librarians for librarians. So we hope that we have put together a program that gives you what you need. I know that many of you may have used the program last year, and that's great. Thank you so much for being with us for Reading Colors Your World. We're going to be joined today by my colleague Tina, whom many of you may have met online or on the phone, who is the magician behind all the nuts and bolts of iRead, as well as Becca Boland from the Skokie, Illinois Public Library, our 2022 chair, Donna Block of the Niles, Maine Public Library, our 2023 chair, and Gretchen Schultz of the Aurora Public Library, who's probably the one physically closest to you guys in Iowa, who is our 2024 iRead chair. Our agenda will be to talk about the Read Beyond the Beaten Path launch and logistics. Some of you may have already been in a webinar where we talked about the theme and the artists. We're going to go over that briefly again today in case there's anyone who did not attend a previous webinar about that. For our, we had one webinar for all our state partners. We have 10 now, presence in 10 states, so we're thrilled about that, as well as the Department of Defense Morale, Welfare, and Recreation Libraries worldwide all use iRead. So you're part of something bigger than just us, which is kind of exciting. But without further ado, because we do have a short time today and lots to go over, I'm going to introduce Becca, who will talk about Read Beyond the Beaten Path.
Hey, everybody. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. So excited for you all to have Tegan. She used to be one of ours, and now she's yours. So please treat her well. She's fabulous. So 2022 is Read Beyond the Beaten Path. We are so very excited about this theme because we think, like so all of our themes, it's really, really versatile. You can go kind of the classic tent and fire and s'mores kind of direction, or you can do all kinds of different little camps. You can do art camp and music camp and coding camp and space camp. So we think that it has the ability to fit into, I always love a program where you can come up with any program you just really want to do and still kind of fit it into the theme that's provided. So Read Beyond the Beaten Path, we think really works well for that. I'm going to share some of our artists with you if you're unfamiliar. We are so excited to have worked with Dav Pilkey. He responds to both. You probably know him from either Captain Underpants or Dogman. You might not be as familiar with his sweet Little Blue Dragon, but that is our art for 2022 for our youngest readers. And we're just really excited about that. Jessica Gibson is our early readers. I highly recommend you go to her website, Google her, and look at all of her art. When we did that, we saw all of these adorable children like in nature with sweet little woodland creatures. And we're like, this is perfect, 2022, this is what we need. So Jessica Gibson has done a lot of really lovely art, including the poster that you see here, and that was behind Diane previously. Next up is Kayla Miller. They are best known for their graphic novels, Act, Click, and of course Camp. So that fit right in with our theme. Graphic novels, of course, are a favorite of middle schoolers and teens alike, and us adults as well. I really, really love this poster. When they first sent us the specs for it, I tried to find something about it that was missing, and I can't find anything that's missing. Everything is represented. There's a lot of different possible camp activities there. It's just really lovely. And a lot of the smaller art, which we'll talk about later, is also just fabulous, and I love so very much. Last but not least is Steens. We are, again, super excited and really just so happy to work with these amazing artists who are so willing to pivot at a moment's notice. One of the really cool things when we've been going back and forth is that Steens created this kind of like inside the library signing up for summer poster, but because we keep thinking we think we know how things are going to move forward and then something changes, we wanted to give people the opportunity to have this poster available both with folks wearing masks and folks not wearing masks. So this is actually a two-sided poster. So if you choose this poster, you will get both versions of it. And then depending on what next summer brings, you'll have the opportunity to use whatever side fits your library and your patrons the best. So, and again, a lot of really fun, cool art. Every year we create a public service announcement. It's something that's included in the resource guide that you'll hear about more later. It's available as an MP4 file, so you are able to edit it. It's also available just as the vocals, not the image. So if you have a local radio station that would like to use it, you could do that. You can put it up on your monitors in your library. You can put it up on social media, whatever works best. Diane is, I think, going to share the PSA with you all now if you haven't had an opportunity to see
Absolutely. Stay tuned.
Thanks, Diane.
This summer, we're going to read beyond the beaten path at your library.
You can have fun reading, make cool crafts, and collect badges.
I love badges. How do you earn badges?
You read and do fun activities.
Look, there's the badge for science fiction.
There's sports,
Ooh, nature.
arts and crafts. Paddle over to your library where you can play games, win prizes, and collect badges.
Summer reading for children, teens, and adults.
So that's one of those things where if you don't have anyone on staff that can create graphics like that, it's something that we've provided for you, and hopefully that will come in handy. I am particularly biased about that particular public service announcement because it is my voice, but it's also my son's voice who does the little kid. So, and the squirrel. That was his idea. So we're really, really excited about that.
Well, thank you, Becca. I love that you are the voice of our PSAs now. I think that's really great. We can also let you know that if you don't already, that iRead does have a vigorous presence on social media and various outlets. These social media channels are run by librarians just like you. And in addition to our regular social kind of media broadcast channels, we have a Facebook group every year that is created that's particular to the theme. And that's intended for librarians to share ideas and put up pictures of what you've done and talk to one another. I don't know if that group has launched yet, but I can find out, and you can certainly see it if you go to our iRead program Facebook page. It is linked from there, or will be linked from there when it gets going. We will also have, I'll show you in a minute, some of these banners. You'll see Read Beyond the Beaten Path here. I just did screenshots of our social media. We have a number of banners available for you in the resource guide in English and Spanish for you to use on your own social media. We'll get a sneak preview of some of those in a moment when we start talking about the resource guide. So if you used iRead last year, you know what the resource guide is. It's about 500 pages, chock full of ideas that have been crowdsourced by librarians from all over the place. And we want you to participate in the creation of the following year's resource guide, which Donna will talk about in a moment. But this year's resource guide is just a little bit of a sneak preview. The download is available, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes as well. This is chock full of all kinds of ideas for programs, arts and crafts, scripts, readers advisory things, scripts, bibliographies, publicity, press releases, all kinds of resources for you, as well as, of course, the artwork. So each of those 4 artists that Becca introduced will have not only the poster art that you saw, but similar bookmark art that will, in the shape of bookmarks, but it's the same art you saw on the posters, as well as a ton of spot art that they've created. Now, the spot art and the posters, or any of the art for that matter, I've just popped up a little sampling of what you're going to see here. There's a great deal more of this in the actual resource guide. You'll see that each of the featured artists has some little vignettes that you can put on anything you want. You can make stickers, you can put them on your social media, you can make your own t-shirt, you can purchase things in the iRead store, but if you don't see something you want, you can take this artwork and take it to your own vendor and create whatever you want with it. You as owners of the resource guide have the right to put this artwork and any of the artwork that's in the resource guide on anything you want. There's no time limit, and you can take it to a vendor and have them put it on anything you want. The only limit to this is that the vendor can't then take the art and put it on anything else and sell it. They can only use this art for what they're creating for you, if that makes any sense. Becca talked a little bit about badges. There's just some sample ones here. Each of the artists has created a full set of numbered badges, a full set of unnumbered badges that look just the same but without the numbers. And Kyla Miller has created genre badges. The mystery one is shown here, and you saw some of the others in the PSA. So I misspoke a moment ago. Kyla Miller, I don't believe, has numbered and unnumbered sets. I think they only have the genre ones, but all the other artists have numbered and unnumbered versions in case you want to use badging for your program to mark participants' progress throughout the summer. So that's just a quick sneak peek at some of the spot art that we have. You'll notice on the lower right, some animals. We did recommission one of our 2021 artists, Zach Lehner, to create a suite of outdoor animals art for us for this year, specifically for Read Beyond the Beaten Path. So we think those are kind of fun. There's many, many more than just the moose and the raccoon, but those were some cute ones. So I put those up. Let's see what else. These are samples of the Facebook covers that I mentioned earlier. They're all available in English and Spanish. We have heard from some participants that they wanted more materials that were in Spanish. So we have enhanced our Spanish language offerings. There are now some items in the store that are in Spanish language. Previously, we had only artwork that users could take and get created at a vendor. This year, we have a small suite of materials ready to purchase in Spanish, and some t-shirts in Spanish as well, which we had not had previous. So we do say that we're by librarians for librarians, and we take suggestions, and if we can, we act on them. So if you have suggestions for us, please do not hesitate to let us know. Now I'm going to turn it over to my colleague Tina, who will talk to you about the nuts and bolts and the mechanics of the resource guide. Tina, do you want me to stop sharing, or do you want me to go through these slides and then you could do the live demo?
Yes, Diane, if you don't mind just going quickly through the
Sure.
slides, and then we can do the live demo. Thank you.
So go ahead.
So the State Library of Iowa will provide you with a special link and a promotion code that you will use to download your copy of the resource guide. For those that used last year iRead, it will be very similar, pretty much exactly the same thing that you did last year, with an exception that the code will be different and the resource guide that you will be downloading will be for 2022. So for those of you who have used iRead, you'll be logging into the same account that you used last year. But for anyone that's new this year, you'll be creating an account at the iRead website, and I will show how all of that works out shortly. If we can go to the next slide. Once you download the resource guide on your computer, then you have immediate access to all the programming, all the bibliographies, decoration ideas, and all the graphics that Diane went over just a minute ago. We understand that this process might be new for some of you. Detailed instructions will be provided with the actual code that you'll be receiving via email. And of course, you can always reach out to iRead customer service at iread@ila.org if you have any questions or you have any trouble signing into your account or anything else along the process. And the next slide. So the link that you'll receive specifically for redeeming the code, once you open that, you'll see a screen like that where you're asked either to sign into your account or create a new account. Once you do that, a box will show up where you'll be asked to enter your promo code. I recommend that you copy and paste that in the box provided and click on redeem. And once you do that, a confirmation screen will show up where you can download part 1, which is the content of the resource guide with all the chapters, including the public service announcement, and then download part 2, which contains all the graphics. Now, depending on your internet service, but depending on your bandwidth and what else might be running on the computer at the same time, downloading these two parts may take a little bit longer. We'll see that live, but if you have a good internet connection, it should take no more than 2 to 5 minutes to download each. And if we can move on to the next, you can download part 1, then you download part 2. In addition to the confirmation screen, you will also be sent an email that will contain the same information. So you're not losing if you just quickly close out of the screen by accident. You will have an email confirmation from where you can access the two parts that need to be downloaded. And once you have downloaded part 1, you will see these folders which contain the resource guide. And then once you download part 2, you will see all of the graphics arranged in separate folders by type of graphic. And I think that might be the last slide. This is just a screenshot of the actual iRead store, but I can go ahead and share my screen now so I can show you live how all of this would work out. Okay, so for the purposes of this demonstration, obviously I have created a test email. You'll receive something similar and a test code that we can redeem and see how all of this works. It is a special link. In order to redeem the code for your complimentary guide that the State Library is providing to you, you need to use this link that will be provided to you. This is different than the regular iRead store, so you want to make sure that you use this one. And then I'll go ahead and sign into my account. We get the screen where we need to copy and paste the code. Here's the test code that I'll be using for this purpose. And you simply click on redeem. And here we have the screen with download part 1. You simply click on it and it starts downloading in this part here, and it will tell you how long it will take. This should be pretty quickly. The graphics usually down part 2 is what takes a little bit longer because those are very large files and we have a lot of them. I want to go ahead and show you, going back to my email, that here I have received an email confirmation that tells you what you have redeemed. And if you click on this link over here, it goes back to the same screen where you can download the two parts of the resource guide. Once this one has downloaded, these are zipped files as they're large files, and you can extract them onto your desktop or another designated folder. So these are all the folders for the resource guide. And we can go back to this one and download part 2. We don't have to wait for this to be downloaded. It will take a little bit longer, but this is pretty much the gist of it. If you happen to redeem the code and you don't download the resource guide right away, and then later on you have forgotten that you've done already that, you can always follow the same steps. And when you try to put in the code, you will be told that you have already redeemed that code, and you can just resend yourself. You can click here, that will resend your confirmation, and that's how you can access it. Once you have downloaded the resource guide, obviously it can be either put on a shared drive for the whole library to use, or you can also upload it to a flash drive if you want to use it on a different computer. And I think this is almost ready. We're speaking, and I can quickly show this folder once it's downloaded. And here we have all the arts and graphics. If you open that up, it's separated by badges, spot art, posters, everything that we already discussed. I will close out of that, stop sharing my screen, and let's see if there are any questions.
It doesn't look like there are right now, but if something comes up after this webinar, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And if something comes up during this webinar about what we've already presented, please just go ahead and put it in the chat. If we can't get to all of the questions during the webinar, we'll respond back following. This is also, as you know, being recorded and will be shared with you as well. So that is 2022 in a nutshell. We're very, very happy to have you guys with us for 2022. And now it's time to start looking ahead. I'd like to introduce Donna Block of the Niles, Maine District Library here in Illinois. Let me share my screen and we will move on to 2023. More about the store. We'll skip all that. You guys know all of that.
Yeah, hi everyone. I actually grew up in Iowa, so I'm super excited to see like all the Iowa librarians today. Yeah, so 2023, our theme is Find Your Voice. And with voice, it's a really like broad interpretation. So it could be anything that you do to express yourself, finding your voice in books and reading, actions that you take each day to impact the world. And so there's really a lot of opportunities to explore different types of programming, such as like history, social justice, again, like self-expression, STEAM. So we're really excited about this theme coming up for 2023. We have all our artists lined up. We don't have like finished artwork yet, but we have all our artists that we'd like to introduce. Angela Dominguez is our pre-K artist. She's actually going to be using some of her characters from Mango, Abuela, and Me. The parrot Mango will be like the spokes parrot for 2023. And then Stella Diaz from the Stella Diaz series will also be making an appearance is in some of the artwork. And we've seen some sketches so far that are really amazing and we're super excited about. Next up is Joshua Mangishik Pegwastekli. You may know him from the book Sharice's Big Voice, and he will be our artist for elementary age. Super excited to see what he produces for us. And then for teens, we have Hannah Templar. Cosmonites is one of my personal favorites, and Cosmonites 2 will be coming out soon. And so some of her artwork from Cosmonites is going to be featured in our art for teens for 2023. And then finally, our all ages artist is Michaela Goad. So yeah, she may be familiar from her Caldecott winning work, We Are Water Protectors. And the artwork here, here's like a mock-up of the poster for 2023 that's taken from her new book this year, I Sang You Down from the Stars. And so you can see like it just fits perfectly with the Find Your Voice theme. So our resource guide. So yeah, we kind of looked at the nuts and bolts of downloading and using the resource guide. Our 2023 resource guide is in development right now. And so we were looking for people to contribute ideas. This could be ideas for programs, bibliographies, articles, crafts for the resource guide. And we're also looking for people who are interested in helping with our task force. So yeah, if you're looking to just submit an idea for the okay, so here's the link where you can sign up for the task force. And again, like this is a resource that is by librarians and for librarians. And while iRead kind of is born and lives in Illinois, it's really, you know, like again, we're in like 10 states now. We go all around the world with the Department of Defense. And so we were looking for librarians from all over to contribute to it. And it's a great way to like get your ideas out there. Say you're looking for like credits for like, sorry, I'm like say you haven't been like published before. It's a great way to get like an article published, and you can submit these to like other publications that you're interested in reviewing. It's great to add to your resume that you've been published in the iRead resource guide. Yeah, here's this is the page where you can submit your resource guide submissions. Again, there's categories for like getting started, promotion, publicity, crafts and maker ideas, other programs like story times and big events, decorations and displays, and then bibliographies. There are sample submissions too, so if you're not sure what a submission should look like or how it should be formatted, you can take a look at these examples. For instance, there's like a craft activity, so you can put like pictures of like your own like original craft idea and then like directions for it. There's some examples of bibliographies there as well. Yeah, so we are looking for people who want to just submit an idea and also people who are interested in taking like a larger role and committing to submitting 5 ideas, as well as reviewing submissions to make sure that like everything is there that needs to be there, like doing some editing possibly, and then also recruiting colleagues and coworkers to get their ideas submitted as well.
Thank you so much, Donna. That was great. We hope you're all really enthusiastic about Find Your Voice. We are. We can't wait. We're so excited about these artists, and we really want your ideas. We really want your input. We can't do this program without you. So I hope that you will find it these opportunities of interest and that you will chime in. Now we are going to look ahead to 2024, and I'd like to introduce Gretchen Schultz.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Diane. Good to be here with you guys today. So I'm Gretchen Schultz. I'm a children's librarian in Illinois, and I'm going to be the chair for iRead 2024. So the theme that we came up with as a committee, the broad theme is conservation. And we got really excited about that because just like Find Your Voice and Read Beyond the Beaten Path, it can take a bunch of different shapes and sizes in our programming. So conservation is defined as careful preservation and protection of natural resources. It's a movement focused on protecting species from extinction, maintaining and restoring habitats, enhancing ecosystem services, and protecting biological diversity. So as a broad theme, conservation can be looked at through the lenses of renewable energy, self-care, the current climate movement, and makes for a wonderfully diversified summer reading program that encourages reading as a restorative method of self-improvement and self-preservation. So we have a list of taglines that we're working on right now. And shall I share that, Diane?
You know what? Let's talk a little bit before we do that about the theme and how it gets developed. So let me put that back up, and then we'll go to the Padlet. Here we go. So our theme criteria, these criteria are printed in the appendix of the resource guide, so you can always refer to it. We also have some criteria for the artwork as well. This is how we choose our theme. And as Gretchen explained, we usually have kind of an overarching theme concept, but then we go out to our participants to help to try to develop our actual tagline. So last year's broad area was camp. The tagline is Read Beyond the Beaten Path. Last year, listen to me, because we've already been working on it. It feels like last year, even though it's coming up next year. We always have about 3 years of development going at any one time here in iRead. But here are some examples from the past few years and current years of general theme concepts and taglines. So now is the time for us to be thinking about our tagline for 2024. And I can share it. Gretchen, I have it right here. So here it
ready to go here in the chat too.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Oh, okay, cool. So these are some of the taglines that librarians have come up with. A lot of them are super cool. The one that's winning right now is Read, Renew, and Repeat. Another one that's popular is Save the World, Read a Book. So we placed it in the chat and you are free to vote. You can vote by clicking on the heart that you see. And then we just ask that you just vote for one tagline. per person. So.
Yeah, those of us from Illinois are used to voting early and often, right? But yeah, we try to limit ourselves. Oh, good, Tegan, thank you. Tegan says they're fun. Yeah, the Padlet is really fun too. And don't feel like you have to vote for the ones that are in the lead already. If there's one that you like that not anyone else has voted on, that's what we need to hear.
Absolutely.
All right. So we have the link in there. You'll be sent the link. And Gretchen, when does the voting for this close?
After the state conferences.
Okay, so yeah, normally we'd be going around to our own Illinois Library Association conference, which took place last week, and we'd sometimes have posters with these and little stickers that attendees can come and put the colorful sticker next to the tagline they like. So this is an electronic version of that. But there are a few other state association conferences and state webinars that we have going around these few weeks. So I guess maybe by early November-ish, we would probably be wanting to have this process wrapped up. So you have a couple of weeks to think about your favorite tagline and let us know. So thanks, Gretchen. I think that brings us to the end of our formal presentation. But we are here to answer any questions that you may have. And we know that you guys are, some of you are seasoned iReaders already. I don't know if anyone has any feedback about any of the taglines or any of the artists or themes or any other questions. We roared through quite a bit of information in the interest of time, and I see that we do have a little bit more time. Sam, is there anything else up on the docket for today's session?
I'm just going to throw out there really quick in case anybody missed it in the chat, because I accidentally sent it to just hosts and panelists at one point. But the link, I'm sure if you didn't see in the chat, Iowa librarians, the link is going out for the resource guide after this. It's set up to go out. So if for some reason you don't get it or anything, just contact me, let me know, and we'll make sure. And it's going to your directors. So make sure you ask them for it.
Thank you. That's a great point, Tegan. Thank you so much. I see that there is a question about ordering deadlines for the store. And so I'm going to share a screen again. If you don't remember what we said in this webinar or don't want to go back and watch it again, although why wouldn't you? Because iRead is just so fun. I don't know. But everything is available on our website, which is iReadprogram.org, including the shipping schedule. So our stuff kind of rolls out depending on when the orders are received. Our first order deadline coming up is December 1st. And if you order by then, we commit to getting you your items by March 15th. And as you'll see, they're rolling deadlines after that. And then anything orders placed after May 1st, we can't really guarantee that we can fulfill because everybody else would have already placed their orders. And we've had this question in the past. I don't know if anybody is concerned about it here. Do we reorder? What if we run out of stuff? What if so one of the favorite items for this year is a Bigfoot collar, which I can show you in the store. And I want you all to be confident that the US military has ordered 5,000 Bigfoot collars already. So we are prepared in case there's a Bigfoot issue here, anywhere in the world. The US military has got their Bigfoot collars. But at any rate, if we run out of Bigfoot collars, if we run out of them by, January, we will reorder. If we run out, in May and June, we're probably not going to reorder at that point. So it's in your best interest to get your orders in pretty early. And that's the shipping schedule. And you can find that just right at the top here of this iReadprogram.org page. Here's what the page itself looks like. There's the resources for Summer 22, this is where we have the PSA. Summer 23, this is where you can sign up for the resource guide. And then you can go to the store from here as well. And I'm just going to show you the Bigfoot collar because I think it's really fun. So at any rate, you can get an idea of the kind of things that we have. If you did iRead before, then you know. Is there a charge for the resource guide? I see a question that the state library will be providing that. So there's no charge to the library. Thank you, Tina, for answering that. If any of you did iRead in the past, you know the kinds of things we have. These items are all conceptualized anew each year to tie in with our theme. Although every year we have some pretty standard materials like lawn signs, banners, t-shirts, bookmarks, pencils, all that, reading logs and stickers for them, all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of a little sneak preview of the store and what's in there. And yes, somebody has asked, there used to be a flash drive. Does the resource guide take the place of that? It is the resource guide, and the resource guide is available on a flash drive and in a, believe it or not, a paper version, or just the flash drive itself. That is available in the store in case anybody would like to have this on a flash drive, but you will be able to put it on a flash drive yourself from the download if you like to. But yes, if you wanted to buy one, you could.
I'll follow up with Diane on that. We did send it out several years on the flash drive when we were with a different vendor. And that was our way to quit sending the paper copies because the cost was prohibitive. So, and now it's so much easier to download and get access to. So you're really in good shape now.
It is. And you don't have to pay any shipping or any of that. So yeah, the download is new functionality. Well, I should say we've had a download for a number of years, but our ability to offer it in bulk purchase is a new development, relatively new for the past couple of years. So
well, and once you download it and save it to your computer, you can't lose your flash drive, which happened in many cases. So
I'm sure
a much easier way to do it. I also want to take the chance to really encourage Iowa librarians to submit something to participate in future resource guides. We have great talent in the state and creativity, especially in our youth services staff around the state. So really take that opportunity and show how great you are with all the other states that use the iRead program. I think that that's a great opportunity for Iowa libraries.
Thank you for that plug. Yeah, yes, please. We need it.
And just going back to the resource guide really quickly, something we talked about with groups previously is that a really great way to kind of make sure that everybody has access to it, and instead of passing that flash drive from person to person, is to use a shared drive or something comparable that you have available at your library and put it on there so that everybody has access to it and can just grab the pieces that they need. If you are a person that does well in print, the nice thing is that instead of having the entire guide printed out for you, you can just pick and choose the parts that you want to be able to take notes on or like pass around for everybody to contribute to. And then you don't have this whole big binder that you're trying to wrangle.
Like a total jinx with Kyla Wendland in here, who's put that exact comment in the chat right as you were talking.
Oh my goodness. All right. So mind meld to Iowa. I love it. Absolutely. So yeah, we've had a lot of success with sharing amongst the library, and it's really nice because you get the resource guide for your library at no additional cost to your library. And then you can share it freely. And Diane talked about all of the possibilities that you can use it for if you do, fall reading or winter reading or whatever the case may be. You can use art or themes or whatever that you didn't use previously, because some people like to use different art for every age group. Some people like to choose one artist and use it for the overarching program, but then you have three people or three artists, kind of in the wings waiting for other opportunities for you to use it with your friends or friends of the library, not like your personal friends. I mean, I guess you could share it with your personal friends too, but it's one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is how versatile the program is, and how once you have it in your hands, the possibilities are kind of endless in terms of what you want to do with it, how much you want to use the stuff that we've already provided, and how much you want to develop your own logs or t-shirts or tote bags or whatever it is that you do and your patrons associate with summer reading.
Thanks, Becca. Great explanation. Are there any other questions for us while we're here? If not, we're here anyway, even after this. So do let us know. And I think that brings us to the end of our iRead 2022, 2023, and 2024 presentation.
And I just wanted to throw out there really fast, if you're thinking about contributing to the resource guide, but you're not sure about what you're sending, if you have any questions or want someone to look it over, don't hesitate to email me, call me, anything you need. I am happy to let you know, and we can work on it